This is a regular scheduled meeting of the Garden School District Board of Directors, and we'll now call this meeting to order. Madam Secretary, can you satisfy us that we have a quorum?
Yes.
Okay, with a quorum present, we'll now start conducting business. Casey, could you lead us in prayer? Stephanie, good.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day. We thank you for the gathering of all these professionals, and we pray that you will give us the wisdom, discernment, and guidance that we need to make decisions that will benefit our school and community. These lessons we ask in your name. Amen.
Amen.
Please stand with me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America
And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The first item for business is we want to introduce our new superintendent, Miss Misty Wolf.
Thank you.
We have some special recognition.
We do not have any special recognitions at this time.
Okay. Well, then with that said, we will now go into executive session. We have some personnel matters. And we'll return and y'all keep your seats and we'll go into the office. Now return from the executive session. We'll now call the meeting back to order.
I make a motion that we approve the personnel package as presented.
Okay, we have a motion.
Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. The next item of business is approval of minutes.
I mean, if we approve the minutes as given.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. The next item of business is our financial report. Can you tell us anything, Rhonda, please?
I think y'all may already know. On page 2, your fund balance report. You'll know our local revenue, if you look at what's budgeted and what we've already received, we're already received more than what we budgeted for the year, which is a good thing. We're still like a little bit, but we've got June to finish collecting. This only reflects through May. Now, the budget column, that is for the whole year. So you're comparing the total revenue for the full year that we anticipated versus what we have actually gotten through May. So we still have another month of collecting. One of the things I do want to notice is federal funds. That fund is mostly reimbursement. There are a few federal funds that we get in advance, but for the most part, federal funds are reimbursement funds. We spend them and then we get reimbursed for them. And the state does. There are a few funds that, like Medicaid, that we bill for and then they send us our money. But for the most part, our funds that are our federal funds that are funneled through the state, they're reimbursed. They do what they call a warehouse pool from eFinance. They do it the second Saturday of every month, and then they reimburse for whatever is in the negative for that month, as long as we haven't overspent our allotment. They will do that the second Saturday of June. They did that, and we will receive whatever funds we get. They will stop that process now until the second Saturday of September, because we're going to be doing closeout and we're going to be moving funds around. And so this number is going to probably increase for the next few months, just because the federal funds we're going to get are going to be very limited until we do that data pull in September. So I kind of expect that to increase for the next month. I think that's probably about all. Do y'all have any questions?
All right, any questions with y'all?
The motion that we approve our financial report for May 24th.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. The next item of business is our consent agenda. First item is a board policy.
The policy that you received for first reading that's up for approval is policy 3, which is our personnel policy. It's a licensed personnel policy. And they've gone back through and gone through it. PPC has, and Dr. Vaughn has, and myself, and made sure that we have updated everything. And it's just basically there to replace that G that was our local policies to keep us up with what we are supposed to have in our personnel policies.
Is there any
Major, no,
changes in that?
There is
I didn't
not.
see anything.
there's
see.
not. And we've been going over it for a while now, so there was no really major changes there.
Okay.
Questions?
We wanna,
So we're okay to approve this one,
Yes.
the other one is on first read.
yes, on the first read for the second, yes.
On the one for first read,
No, the one for-
it's sorry.
sorry, I'm just- Make a motion that we approve board policy number 3.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. Then now we're in item B, which is another board policy item for a first reading.
And the ones that for first read is policy 8, and that's classified policy. So that would be Dustin and his classified policy committee that have gone through for this update.
When do you
Uh,
look for us to approve?
Next month.
Next month.
Needs to be done next month.
Okay. All right. There's no questions there. We'll move on to the item C, which is the wellness center policy.
That one is, I don't think Wendy made any major changes there either. Yeah, and then nothing has changed from that.
Make the motion that we approve the district wellness policy. Second.
All right, we have a motion and a second on that. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. Item D, we have, talk about the scoreboard that got damaged, in the last bad weather.
Yes, and this is just a revision because initially they said they would assess the video board to see if it was damaged, and it was. So it needed to be replaced, so it was added to the claim because any separate claim would have resulted in an additional $5,000 deductible. So that was accepted and the insurance company has already paid out, so
Right.
we just have to do the installation now. So, and Coach Jackson's working on that.
So installation's not gonna be covered under that.
Yeah.
No.
You don't have any idea roughly what.
I do not have
installation-
any idea right now what that's going to be.
So policy it covers the things.
Mhm.
That would be an examination policy to find out why that is. And remember, it is going to be moved, so that's gonna be a little something extra too, I'm sure. To have to make sure that they've got everything on that side of the field that they're gonna need for the boards.
We're moving.
To the opposite side of the field so that it can be seen from the home
From home.
bleachers.
We'll have to run electricity to a different spot. Take down the other, or is there anything left of the?
There's a little bit left of the structure, yes, that will have to be taken down.
So this same company will install those.
The installation will involve a couple of other people as far as the electrical and the fiber optic and that kind of stuff. Rhonda, do you have any information on that? Okay,
Person I didn't question.
Well, you mentioned something the other day though about after that timber being cut, that.
Yes, I would recommend that thing be angled where the northwest winds will cut through it instead of blowing against it. That would be smart to do that. Mhm.
Just wind damage. Okay.
I mean, if you wanna, you'll be dealing with them, so if you want to remind them about.
I will.
That's your to-do list.
I will add that to my to-do list.
If there's not any more questions, you'll have a motion to approve.
Make a motion that we approve the football scoreboard and video board replacement, to include the $88,352.21. But it was only a $5,000 deductible to us, but that we also need a paper installation.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed.
I have a question just concerning that, the installation, is there a way, and Rodney mentioned maybe the way it's positioned, but is there a way to attach that in a different way where it's more secure, where it won't, something like that might not happen again?
I don't know if there's a way to brace that up on the back. But we can definitely ask and look into that. But with all of the trees, like you said, with it being clear cut there, I don't know that there's any way to block a significant amount of wind if it comes through. But we can definitely check in on it.
Alrighty. Next, item E is assurance with the GEPA.
And that would be Miss McDonald.
This is one of the items that's required for our title applications. As a matter of fact, that's rolled into several applications. So the assurances, Ms. D has initial, that we're meeting all the requirements to receive our federal funds. And this is just a first step in assuring, his communities that all that. It's actually yearly.
I have done some reading and it described, eligible migrant. What is the definition of an eligible migrant?
Our migrants, eligibility is actually determined out of Hope. We have, someone who comes and looks at their forms. It depends on where you're working, how often you've moved. It's an important form that they actually fill, the families fill out. That let us know whether or not they're migrant. It is a very small number for this.
Sure. Anybody else have any questions on that?
Motion that we approve the AVP assurances GEPA.
We have a motion.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. Move on to the next item, F, relates to bids related to special education services and educational examiner.
It's also Miss McDonald.
Her contract's correct. We ran requests for bids to see if we could find either new candidates or the first candidates for OTP policy who didn't have any names. Applicants or bids that we are in the contracts. But the examiner, I would like to recommend that we go with the two now. Examiners are called in as need be when children come up for 3-year reevals or children referred for special ed. You'll have a few of them.
Anybody have any questions?
How do you decide which one does the exam if you have two?
That's a great question. Our exams are in timelines. From the date of referral, I have 7 days to set a conference, 21 to hold it, and then 60 to have an examiner come. Well, examiners have gotten hard to find and they're hard to schedule. And to make sure that we get them here on time and enough time for the district to respond to what's found in the examination, I recommend two. I think we'll probably use the examiner that's been through our monitoring process. Her work has been monitored and has been, found fairly solid. So we will use her as often as we can. And when it looks like timelines are going to get too close for comfort, or it looks like we could serve a child faster, we could get the other examiner here faster, then I'd like to have that option if the board would approve, just to speed up the process for our kids' sake and to make sure we're meeting these timelines.
Definitely.
Motion.
Yeah, probably two would be better.
Make a motion that we approve the bids for the special education, examiner.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed.
Therapy, OT, and speech therapy.
Did we get everything in that? Are we ready to go into G?
Did you
Okay.
accept, you get on all of the therapies?
I
wanna
would
make-
accept the contracts for, PTOT and speech.
Okay.
Second.
All right, we have a motion second. There, all in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed.
Okay.
I think concludes that. We move on to item G, which is a student accident insurance.
Yes, and there are three plans there that we looked at, the health special risk, student insurance services, and Dwight Jones Agency. As you can see, Dwight Jones was quite a bit higher than the others. But the recommendation would be to go with health special risk because they do the enhanced plan, which covers athletics and cheer, and that's really where a majority of our injuries come from. So that's why we were recommending to go with that one.
And any claims that we've had in the past, are they good about handling everything?
So
Never
far,
had-
so
had
good.
any problems?
So far, so good.
We approve the proposal for health special risk for student insurance.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. So the next item, H, I consider board-to-board transfers.
And we do have one this time around. Not really sure why they want to transfer to Prescott, but they did request it. It's for a 5-year-old who will start kindergarten. I'd asked Ms. Riley if she had any idea why they were requesting transfer. She did not, so. But you know, when they're getting ready to start kindergarten, that's when they're more likely to try to get them in the school they want them to be in. So I'm assuming that's just, they have family there or there's a reason they want to be in Prescott.
Did the student go through our pre-K program?
Ms. Riley, did the student go through our pre-K program? Okay. Okay,
Move we approve the board transfer.
We all, a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. Okay, item I, we have a bank signature on the student account that we need to address.
yeah, and the next three things are all things that just go in with Dr. Vaughn rolling out and me rolling in.
Yes,
I move we approve items I, J, and K.
Second.
great. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed.
Officially signed.
Yeah, you're on board.
Got the keys of check. Not really wrong.
Yeah, that's true. That's Rhonda.
Okay, item L is talking about renewal of the property and vehicle insurance.
Mhm. Rhonda, did you say that this was cheaper this year than it was
Looked like
last
it-
year?
Looked like it was. That's very unusual. Insurance don't get cheaper. Uh,
Yeah. So that may be why they're not gonna cover things.
Yeah, that's what you better watch for.
Yeah. That may have answered the question right there.
Mhm.
We did get in for about some- they were, but,
Yes,
you
definitely.
know, like, maybe not as many.
I bet they supply a print somewhere.
I'm sure there is. You never know when they're gonna decide to change things, so.
There's not any question. We have a motion to approve.
Make a motion that we approve our insurance quotes from Arkansas School Board Association.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. Okay, item N, we have a review of our state audit.
And I think all of you should have received a copy of the audit. So did you have any questions? There were no material findings on it.
Yeah.
Correct, Rhonda? So,
That's good.
any questions on that?
I move we approve the audit review.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. Item N is evaluation or possible update for our fire alarm system. We've been talking on that.
Yes, so we found out a couple of weeks ago that in 2022, I believe it was, Leslie, that funds have been applied for to update our fire alarm system. I was telling you earlier, our system is a little bit older, but Leslie has all of the information she can share with you, but what was applied for was to upgrade the high school main building, middle school, which is now K main building, the gyms, student center, cafeteria, and band and ag building. The project, there was an estimate for the project, and you did get a quote that Summit brought to us, which I have also shared that with Leslie so she could see exactly what the quote was. We do have a dated system. It could really use an upgrade. So we have funds available to us, but the reason I brought it to you tonight was because we found out about it a couple of weeks ago, but we have to have it signed by the 29th of June.
Yes, ma'am, and what we're doing now, what we're signing is an agreement with the state, so this is a contract with the state. It does not obligate the district in any way, so if in the future you decide you change your mind, we can always just rescind the project, but we do need to sign this agreement before July the 29th, just a whole. And so, based on the estimate that she has, the state is paying about 70% of that. So the district share of that proposal that you've received from the fire alarm company would be, the district portion would be operating, so about 75,000.
You may not know the answer to this. We're talking about building a new building here. Would that be able to be connected like what we're talking about? It'll be able to talk with,
When and if we build that building, the same company puts it in, I would imagine they would be able to wire it all in together if they can wire these in together. But again, that would come down to who installs it
Sure.
in the new building.
we definitely would need to address
Yes,
that.
we need
Sure.
to make sure that everything's going to speak to each other.
Anybody have any more questions about the fire alarm?
We're gonna search out another quote.
Yes, yes, we will.
But we're coming, I mean, even their quote was significantly lower.
Right.
than the state.
Yes, it was quite a bit less.
If we can have a approved to proceed, that,
And motion that we get another quote and then we proceed with upgrading our fire alarm system. So,
can we have a motion in a second? All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. Okay, item number O, we have purchase of smart panels. Can you
Mhm.
tell us anything about?
Well, when we had the millage campaign, one of the reasons that we were asking for a millage increase was technology for students and teachers. And we do have a lot of dated technology in the buildings. We've got a lot of smart boards that are going out and projectors that are going out, and it costs a pretty penny to replace just the bulbs in those projectors these days. So we were looking at that rolling out, purchasing smart panels every few years and purchasing the Chromebooks, putting it on a rotation. I've asked Victor to come up with a rotation that we can refer to so that we can look at it and say, hey, it's about time for these to be upgraded. But we were looking at trying to go ahead and replace some more of those smart panels, because again, we've got smart boards that are going out left and right across the district.
Victor, what do we do with the old technology that we replaced?
Initially, we get a company, to come and recycle everything.
We get paid for that? or
No,
we
most
just
of the
give it to
time,
them
we
free?
have to pay them to come pick it up. Thankfully, this company doesn't charge us to pick up anything. Yep, then they'll probably sell it or do whatever they have to do as parts, but I mean, it's really old. The smart panels are actually, they expire back in 2012. So we haven't been able to get any support on them. I have just been replacing parts, trying to keep them going. But now we just have to replace them, basically, because you can't even get the parts anymore.
So the ones that we will be replacing here, these 8, that is replacing 2012? Or
Those are the
that-
same ones,
that
yes.
Expired in
Yes, so
2012?
basically the ones that are installed on the walls, those are the ones we're replacing, and the ones we're getting are like these on carts where they can be moved,
Gotcha.
wherever the teacher needs them to be moved to.
You're pretty astute on all this, Victor. Is this company, are you most proud of dealing
As
with?
far as the New Line brand?
Yep.
They're not expensive, because some of them go a lot higher, about $5,000, but they do a good job done. There's some that are a lot cheaper, but you're just getting basically a whiteboard.
Sure.
And I mean, the teachers are actually using more than that most of the time.
Yep.
So. You've got about a mid-grade device there.
Yep.
It's not top of the line, but still good. It's good enough to do the job. The teachers like them a lot.
And with upgrades to curriculum and upgrades to the programs that
Correct.
they're using in class, these are more compatible than the smart boards have basically just turned into projector screens at this point, because a lot of them, the touch no longer functions. If you can use the markers, you have to recalibrate them regularly, because if you're writing over here, it shows up over here. So they've just become so outdated, they're not useful at all.
We should have replaced them, I guess, back in 2012 when they went out.
It's 2024.
Right.
Yeah.
But
Better late than never.
Recommend that we approve the purchase of the smart panels as presented.
All right, we have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
All in dissent, same sign. And the motion passed. Okay. Under the curriculum instruction consent agenda, we have item A, talking about Amplify COAR grant.
The SOAR grant, yes, and Ms. Jones can answer questions we've got about purchasing the new curriculum that we need to make sure that we're in compliance.
We purchased, this curriculum last year, of course, a lot more we spent on it, but we have a SOAR grant that has actually helped us pay for that, and we received the SOAR grant again. So it will pay for the Amplify and the SABAS. And then what we will have to pay for will be our math curriculum, because SOAR is based off of just our reading pieces, and that's how we were able to receive that grant. But our math curriculum, we spent a little over, $20,000 last year to establish it. To get our staff trained and to begin the use of it throughout our district. And so this is just basically, they will still have the same, teacher's manuals, but this is digital license, so we don't have to purchase consumables and things like that. They can just take that and use it and copy and use that accordingly for the, image learning.
And then if you look at the technology purchase, that's our first, fifth, and ninth grade rotation of purchasing Chromebooks. To make sure all of our kids can access tests on their computers. Because that's the problem, is those get older, they can no longer test on them, so we have to keep those updated so that we can make sure our kids can access whatever test we are giving, whether it's Atlas, ACT Aspire, whatever it is.
You don't have any questions about that? For simplicity, would y'all like to put all that together?
I make a motion that we approve the curriculum instructions concerning in the A through D.
We have a motion. We have a motion and a second. All in favor of that motion, say aye.
Aye.
All in dissent, the same sign. That motion passed. For future business, it just shows we'll have another regular scheduled meeting in July on the 16th.
So I have a few things that we will bring in at that point. When we're talking about campus handbooks and that type of stuff. That'll happen in July.
Gotcha.
I have the most exciting things.
If there's not any more questions, can we move to adjourn? All right. All in favor of that motion, say aye. All in dissent, same sign. That motion passed. We are adjourned.